Hello all YouTubers, this is K7RAW, Rudy Wiedemann, the Antenna Whisperer, coming to you with another interesting video that I think you'll find particularly fascinating. Today we're going to talk about field testing the effects of different ground planes on resonant verticals. We did this on January 2nd, 2025 at Lone Mountain Park in Las Vegas. We set up 4 vertical antennas on the grass. They were all naturally resonant on 20 meters with no tuners. All antennas were tuned to less than 1.5 SWR with a nano VNA. All antennas used a common mode choke at the antenna end of the coax. We used a single 100 watt FT991A with an antenna switch to do round robins, and we got our signal reports from reverse beacon network, as you'll see. Here's the 991 set up in the CW band, and you can see the lithium battery here. Radio, of course, lithium battery, power monitor. Here's the antenna switch we use for antennas 1, 2, 3, and 4 to do the round robins. Of course, the Nano VNA-FV2 was very helpful in tuning them and testing them. So let's take a look at the antennas. Number 1 was a telescopic whip on top of a tripod with elevated radials at 90 degrees for directionality. You can see a general view of the tripod and the mount here, telescopic whip on top. In the center, you see a little closer picture of that. You can see we've got linked tuned radials coming off of it, and of course the feed line with some chokes on it. And on the right, here's a bipod holding one of the 2 radials out at a V shape, about 90 degrees apart, facing east. Antenna number 2 was a telescopic whip again, about 18 foot long, with 4 drooped radials, 45 degrees, up at about 30 feet. And that's what it looks like when we put it up. And a little closer view here, you can see the guy wires down here. You can see the radials coming off of it this way. And here's a close-up of the feed point with our common mode choke sitting here in the whip above it. Antenna number 3 was a ground-mounted telescopic whip with 24 silicone wire radials. I think these were 22 gauge if I'm not mistaken. So we have a little mount here for the telescopic whip, and you can see all these radials just spread out on the ground. They're about 10 feet long, 24 of them, 3 groups of 8, and you'll see how this performed. Finally, number 4. I had a hamstick on a tripod on a stainless steel window screen, about 4 foot by 8 foot window screen. You see the hamstick here, tripod was up about 3 feet, and you can see it sitting on screen. We've got a piece of braided wire coming down here to the ground screen. So how we did this, they were all taken. All the data was taken within about a half hour, pretty quickly. We tagged each antenna using a separate frequency so we could tell which antenna was which on RBN reports. Each antenna was pinged 3 times before we moved on to the next antenna, and then we did 4 rounds of antenna pings across all 4 antennas. And then we logged the pings on reverse beacon network. So here are the results. Antennas 1, 2, and 3, and 4, you can see the number of reports was pretty significant. You can see the range of minimum and maximum dB, and even the count on the European reports that came in. So some of them actually got over to Europe. So recommendations. Antenna number 1 looks like it's best for working stations in a particular direction. We got about 4 to 5 dB of gain in the direction of the V radials which is pretty significant actually. It's almost a 1S unit. The elevated radial one on the Pater pole was best for radiating above roofs or tree lines. So if you're in a chicken wire canyon like I live in, or you're in the trees, it's a great way to get your radiating elements above that. Number 3 was the best overall. Compact, light, and efficient. And number 4, best where the footprint space is highly constrained, maybe on a balcony or some other spot where you don't have a lot of room to spread out radials. So here are a few ideas for other ground planes to test. Vehicle bodies, gazebo roofs, frames, dumpsters, chain link fences, metal rain gutters, metal trellis frames, and even curb gutter drains, those heavy gutter drains that you see at your curb. Any large surface of metal is a actual valid use of for a ground plane. So I'm sure you can think of others, but it'd be kind of fun to see just what kind of contacts you can make by using a curb gutter drain as a ground plane. That'd be kind of fascinating. So I'll leave it to you to think of others. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Robert and 7GET for setting up the station and providing the directional vertical and the ground mounted vertical. And I'd like to thank Tom KG7HUP to set up his hamstick on a tripod with the screen. And that was very helpful to get some more examples of these antennas out there. So I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned a couple interesting things. Please check out my YouTube channel for the entire series of Antenna Talk videos and much, much more on Antenna Whisperer on YouTube. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you want to see more of these videos, because I got a lot more coming in the queue. So again, thanks so much, 783. Have a great day. Bye-bye.